Y'all, I am screaming about the new Sims 4 expansion pack trailer that just came out within the past 24 hours, but I just watched it in the last 2 hours. So it's almost 3 a.m. my time, which is my time. I am legitimately trying not to scream because people are asleep, but I am so excited. And the reason that I'm like unable to contain myself is that all of my friends are also asleep. So I can't scream about it with anyone yet. Of course, my cats have chosen now to start getting rambunctious as well. So if they make noise in the background, whatever. But I'm going to link to the trailer in the description. I actually just watched lilsimsie's trailer reaction video going through the whole thing. So you can watch the trailer. I'm not going to watch a trailer with you because it won't be my first impression of the trailer. I would have to mute it anyway. Plus, my recording thing is being really weird. It's not recording any desktop audio, which is also why I haven't recorded myself playing the Reaper's Rewards special event that's going on right now yet. I made some Sims for it. I want to do a build for it. And I was going to record playing through Reaper's Rewards, but I can't record any game sound. So that just makes it sound really weird. It's very eerie without being able to hear any of the little Sims sound effects and things that you expect to hear. So very strange. So what I thought I would do instead is just go over the blog post, look at some of the screenshots that are in there, and just look at what it says in the blog because there's no background sound with that anyway. So let's go into the blog post. Journey into the great unknown with the Sims 4 Life and Death expansion pack. Explore the beyond and reap the benefits of a life well lived. So here's our first screenshot from the blog. We see different ghosts doing different things, and I'm so excited about so much of this. So from the trailer, before we even get into this, there were several things that I noticed. First of all, tarot cards. We kind of knew tarot cards were coming. That was in the teaser earlier in the like roadmap and stuff. I am a tarot reader. That is a thing that is part of my life. So I'm really excited that that's coming to the game. Things like practices like lighting candles, pouring libations, all sorts of things. The ability to have funerals, to design cemeteries. I'm so excited about all of those things. And that's just stuff that I knew about from the trailer. So, setting the stage, then I went into this blog post and reading through it with Kayla reading it. So, every ending means a new beginning. What awaits the Sims in the beyond? This All Hallows Eve, because this pack does come out on Halloween, October 31st. We venture into the haunting realm of Ravenwood, where there will be 3 distinct neighborhoods. We have bucket list gameplay coming to the game with this expansion. Ghosts that can have unfinished business and get ghostly powers. So there's a lot more gameplay for ghosts happening, which we kind of knew. New haunts and netherworldly neighbors. We have a view of the world here, or one part of the world. I do have this zoomed in quite a bit so that you can see the text a bit better than normal. So we're zoomed in on the middle of the blog post window. So that's why you can't see as much at a time. I just think that makes it a little bit easier to follow along. So one of the neighborhoods is called Crow's Crossing. There are crows in the game. There was a crow on a perch. There was interactions happening with a crow. I'm I'm so excited about that. Crow's Crossing is an eerie village rumored to be frequented by ghosts and regular hauntings. There's a mysterious merchant, try before you die casket sale. There's a cemetery that you can visit and pay respects to the Sims who once lived there, may still be hanging out here. There are crypts and interactions with that. There are festivals like the Ravenwood Family Day or Crow's Crossing Celebration of Life. Haunted houses. I do have paranormal stuff in my game now, but it sounds like there will be haunted houses in this world aside from that as well. And a ghostly wishing well, so a different type of wishing well than the one from Romantic Garden Stuff. And Romantic Garden Stuff was given away for free for a little bit earlier this past year, so I now have that in my game as well. So I'm kind of wondering if that's not also part of why they gave that pack away for free, so that maybe more people would have a chance to be playing with that wishing well item before they are now releasing another wishing well item. The next neighborhood it talks about is Whispering Glen, ruins and rumors. I love a ruin. Paradise for collectors and historians. Explore the local crypt. we can explore crypts. I'm so excited by this. What is that going to be like? Investigate the Tarot Tome Shrine at the base of the ruins. Okay, I know where I'm going. Whatever you do, stay until the moon rises. Each night, Whispering Glen hosts the local Moon Revelry Festival, where Sims can swim under the moonlight, share stories at a bonfire, and dance. Okay, this sounds like most of the wonderful events that I have with my witches and pagans in real life, so I love this. And here's the thing that really got me. I literally screamed. I literally started screaming. Things get a little wild during the full moon, where clothing is entirely optional. In witch communities, some of us call that skyclad, being clad only in the sky, dancing naked under a full moon. That is such a thing. That is such a vibe, and believe I can't believe they put it in the game. Like, the moon phases are a base game thing now. They got added to the base game when the werewolves game pack came out, because that pack added gameplay with the changing of the moon phases, obviously with the werewolves. So now the base game has moon phases, and that will apply to all of the other worlds. So in this neighborhood, in this world, when it happens to be a full moon, so every night the Moon Revelry Festival happens, but when it's a full moon, you might see Sims running around without their usual attire. And I, I'm so excited by this. The third and final neighborhood that it talks about is called Morningvale, and it sounds like this is the one that's really like the ghost neighborhood, where the ghosts will mostly be hanging out, but of course they can be anywhere and everywhere in your game. But Morningvale, maybe it's the way the wind howls through the moss-draped trees, the eerie clang from the bell tower at odd hours, or the sentient plants. Okay, a bell tower. There's also a bell tower? Just more and more things that excite me. No matter the reason, many ghosts choose to call this place home. The Grim Reaper has even been known to wander through now and then. You can take a dip in the baleful bog to have an out-of-body experience. Okay, we see that a little bit in the reveal trailer. We saw the sim that is mainly featured in the trailer going into this body of very mystical colored water and coming out as a ghost, which seems to maybe be a temporary situation. And then they can do ghost things. They interact with the world like a ghost, they interact with the living like they are a ghost. And they can also transition into rebirth from here, partake in local customs at the Thinned Festival, which is just fun, make peace with their mortality at the Afterlife Anonymous meetup. There's so many things, and all of this is in addition to what is kind of shown by the trailer. So here's another screenshot. This is an example of some of the things that could be on the bucket list. Have another baby is something that might be on a Living Sims bucket list. This little like glowing animation is also featured in the trailer, and it sort of implies reincarnation, which gets into this next bit. Sims only live once, right? But here's the other side. This might be a ghost's bucket list item to help the living in some way. So ghosts can be helpful, or they can wreak havoc. So many more things for ghosts to do. So this next part goes into, there's a lot to do in a Sim's lifetime, so little time. Keep track of everything they want to do with the Soul's Journey, which is a new mechanic, all-encompassing reward system uniting aspirations and wants. It allows them to achieve rewards as they fulfill their goals, with the ultimate reward being the ability to rebirth a sim with the special Burning Soul trait after their passing. Sims who are reborn after completing the Soul's Journey can unlock past childhood development skills, traits, and infant milestones, depending on the age they come back as. I don't have growing together, so I don't have official milestones in my game, so I don't think that specifically will apply to everybody. Although I think some of the basic ones, like Be Born, are, those might be in the base game. I haven't really paid attention. I also haven't been playing that much recently because of my whole weird recording thing. But anyways, yeah, Soul's Journey, reincarnation, they're using the term rebirth. But the way they did the sort of glowing animation in the trailer sort of implies that when a sim passes, there's a chance that they could be essentially reincarnated. And this is part of the gameplay of that. Complete bucket list. There are multiple ways to create a bucket list and add to it. I'll link this in the description too, so that you can read through all of this. But ghosts can have unfinished business, which was already mentioned earlier, when Sims pass on, they can now linger in the household as playable ghosts. There's a special woohoo for ghost couples, ghost powers, all this type of thing. So here's another fun screenshot because there are also 2 new careers getting to become a Grim Reaper and an Undertaker. So in the Reaper profession, they become Grim Turns and can work up to becoming a Reaper, working in the Netherworld Department of Death, or the NWDD. For some reason in my brain, when I saw that initialism, I thought, no worries, dead dudes. So there's Reaper training, you level up in this to the point where at a higher level, you can even determine which souls to reap and which to allow to return to life. Putting souls into the Netherworld portal to meet a soul quota to maybe be Employee of the Month. But then here, the Undertaker career is a classic career, serving both the living and the dead. From grave digging to embalming, Sims who pursue a career in the funeral industry ensure that all Sims can move on in peace. Specializing in this before-afterlife care prepares Sims for difficult moments, like discussing end-of-life services or contemplating existence. Anything with these capital letters, by the way, is like, that's a feature. They're saying that those are actual interactions that can happen in the game. So somebody in this career can discuss end of life with other Sims. And there are 2 branches to that career. You can become a mortician or a funeral director. I know so many people are going to love this. I also know a lot of people in real life who are death workers, death doulas, doing along these lines. So this is really exciting to me. I love it so much. Here's another screenshot of one example of one type of funeral setup. Honoring the dearly departed, mortality and the afterlife now impact the way Sims interact with the world around them. Ghost historian aspiration, horror novels, you could have the ghost whisperer reward trait. There's a hallowed grounds lot trait. 3 new traits for your Sims: macabre, chased by death, and skeptic. Thanatology skill, which is the study of death. And there's a new death type, death by murder of crows. Sims can create a will. They can assign their heirlooms to be given to specific individuals. They can specify how they want their remains handled, funeral planning, designating other Sims to care for their pets or children after they pass. They can donate their simoleons to charity or have it pass to another household. This is so much, and it continues. This next paragraph is another one that I'm really excited about, and I recognize that it sounds kind of weird to say that I'm excited about grief, but I have been dealing a lot with different types of grief this year, and this is a way that Sims will experience grief differently, and it'll actually be more impacted by the game, and anything that adds that type of depth I think is really cool, and especially because this is such a real thing. So, losing someone is never easy, even for Sims. There will be 4 grief types: denial, holding it together, anger, and the blues. And the grief type a Sim receives is based off their traits and, if applicable, their relationship. So, this seems to imply, for example, that hopefully we'll get a little bit more specificity with like Sims that have passed that your Sim met once in passing and they live in another neighborhood and they have no direct connection. Maybe they won't feel as completely devastated by their passing and have to mourn them for a week as what currently happens in the game. It'll be a little bit more tailored to what was their actual relationship. If they're grieving the loss of a parent or a pet or a sibling or a grandparent or something like that, that would be a little bit different than maybe if it's their boss or somebody that they know through school or somebody that they really don't know at all who just happens to live in the same neighborhood but they had no relationship whatsoever. And I like the idea that there can be different ways to deal with it. Right now, it's just Sims get sad. That's it. They get sad for a certain amount of time, and that affects all of your other gameplay. So it's cool that it should be a little bit more tailored, and also not just death causes grief. Okay, this is the thing that I've been really feeling into and learning a lot about this year. Tough situations such as the loss of a family member or close friend, divorce, getting fired from a career, or loss of a pet, if you have horse ranch or cats and dogs expansion packs in order to have animal companions in your game, any of those things can trigger grief. Sims who are experiencing grief can reach out for help. They can attend grief counseling. Sims can console each other about death that has happened around them, or cope positively with grief by doing creative or productive activities while in the grieving process. There's also new interactions when at a funeral, such as offering awkward sympathies or a sympathetic joke, because everybody handles death differently. You can plan funerals now, kind of like the wedding expansion pack enabled weddings to be planned more specifically. You can choose who attends, you can choose what the dress code is, some of the activities that you want them to do. Examples of activities include giving a lighthearted eulogy, lighting candles, planting something, serving food. We also saw in the trailer the pouring of libations. We see a sim with a flask, and of course, in the Sims universe, for those of you who are not familiar, we do not talk about alcohol. It's called juice, or if you have, is it horse ranch that came with nectar making? Nectar is sort of analogous to wine. Juice is basically the general term for alcohol in the Sims world. If you have Discover University, you can get a juice keg. So anyway, we saw a sim with a flask full of juice pouring one out at a funeral. Ghost Sims might even appear at their own funeral, which is very fun. You can set up memorial displays with a portrait of the deceased. You can choose the urn or tombstone that they want. You can decorate their grave site, leave a message on a memorial statue. You can inter their urns in crypts. I am, again, so curious about what these crypts are going to be like. And then the last screenshot here is there are some pre-order bonus things that you get if you pre-order the game. So here's the first screenshot from the blog post again. We can see the ghosts having some different types of interactions. Okay, so I didn't notice this until it was blown up bigger. This grill over here has hearts coming out of it, which implies there's some woohoo going on. And that would be, I guess, an example of the special woohoo that a ghost couple can do, where they can have a spectral woohoo in any item or many items, maybe not any one, but that's definitely like a random item that you wouldn't expect to have a woohoo functionality. Hilariously, there is a train going by in the background in real life right now. I don't know if you can hear it, but I can hear a train in the background, and there is a ghost train over here in the background of the world. This ghost is reuniting with someone that they loved who is still living. This one is, I don't know, there's some kind of interaction happening here. Can I zoom this? See, there's like some kind of thing. I don't know if it's scaring them. It's definitely using like a big booming voice. That might be one of the new ghost powers. And then this ghost appears to be tossing someone upside down who is sleeping. Or wait, is a ghost like sleeping in the mailbox? There are Z's coming out of that area, but it looks like it's coming from the mailbox. Here's one of the views of the world. This isn't a very good view of a lot of the details. There were more things shown in the trailer, like new things that go on the roof that can make it look more dilapidated and run down. So just some style things. But there's definitely a lot of build stuff. There's definitely a lot of decorative stuff. This is one of the areas in a main community center of the world. I can see some little specters down there, some little glowing ghost buddies. Not the same as Sims who are ghosts, but these are like the specters that came with paranormal stuff. They're like little blobby, sort of Casper-ish ghosts. They can be nice or playful, or they can be angry. They glow different colors with their different moods, just like the Sims do. Just like the Sims ghosts do. Sims don't turn different colors, but the moodlets are different colors. You know what I meant. Here's a close-up of the one with some bucket list items. There is a sign here that says no ghosts. I wonder what that's about. Very cool door. And there is tarot card art. I only briefly talked about tarot very early on because it's not mentioned in the blog post, but it's featured in the trailer that they can do tarot readings and receive tarot readings from other Sims. I'm hoping that there's a way to make money from it. Like if you go to a park and do readings for Sims, if they can pay you or if they can like tip you, if it works like the tipping system, kind of like when you go busking with an instrument or something, I think that would be really cool. But there's also a lot of tarot themed artwork as decor, and there's a Grim Reaper death card right there, which I love so much. I'm so excited. Is this a new tattoo sleeve or is that a sleeve? That looks like a tattoo sleeve. Her hair is very cool as well. And what's happening here, oh, this looks like a broken window actually too. So more features for making like really rundown looking, abandoned, haunted places. Not that haunted places have to be abandoned, but you know, it's a vibe. Is this a new keyboard or a desk? I can't really tell what that is, but in this screenshot, this ghost is helping this living sim by increasing their sleep need. So, well, not increasing the need for it, reducing the need for sleep by solving their need. The language around needs in The Sims has always been a little bit weird to me. Like, oh, it's increasing their hunger need. No, it's decreasing their need for hunger by filling the bar. When the bar is low, it means they need that thing. So we are increasing the amount of sleep, making them not feel tired anymore. There's a little set of 3 candles in a triangular dish. We saw that a lot in the trailer. New chandelier, perhaps? Okay, there is a sim kneeling on the ground in front of a grave in the cemetery reading tarot cards. We are best friends. I am best friends with that sim. We have Grim. We have somebody here who's a Grim turn. Look at their little patch. This person is hanging out with one of the crows, and there's the crow perch. I love this memorial stone with the crow or raven on top of it. I love that there's different types of grave markers. We can actually make them look different instead of having like 2 varieties. The real ones all look the same, well, unless they're a vampire, spellcaster, werewolf, alien, stuff like that, robot. But all the regular Sims tombstones or urns look the same. There are some as decor items that come with certain packs, or maybe their base game. I don't know. I haven't made a cemetery in a minute. But it'll be really nice to have different looking ones so that there can be more character. This looks like maybe a little incense burner on the ground. I don't know, I guess we'll see. And then this one has like a raised, right under my camera here, but you can still see it. There's like a little raised bed that this tombstone is in, and it's got weeds sort of growing in it. This sim back here looks like they're kneeling down, dusting off a grave marker. We saw that featured in the trailer, so it looks like that's what they're doing up there. And I'm wondering if there's like tending the grave type interactions where it might look like they're weeding the area if there's plants around it. You can weed the actual growing plants in the game, but I don't know about decorative things like this, but maybe if it's around a grave site, there might be something like that. And for anybody who just happens to be watching this who hasn't been following The Sims 4 for a while, you might not know the ability to even put things up on a platform like this is relatively new to the game as well. We got that a handful of expansion packs ago. They added platforms so that we can actually build things with levels like that now. We would not have been able to do that before if this had come out before they did that. And the last screenshot I wanted to look at a little bit more closely here is the one of the funeral. There's some more tarot themed art in the background here. There's also just other art in general. This one is behind a torch, so for a second I thought that flame was in the painting, but it's just behind this like standing torch item. But it looks like a bunch of crows, a murder of crows. This might be a mirror. It's kind of hard to tell from here, but it almost looks like it's got a mirrored texture. There's a kid giving a eulogy and they're standing up on a little stool, which is adorable. See, they've done a platform here. This whole thing is a platform, and then there's another raised platform in the center that the casket is displayed on with a nice wreath behind it. Lots of new furniture, lots of new decor. This sim is consoling another sim right over here next to my camera. A little further over there, this guy's pouring one out. There's a cute little mushroom creature statue. There's a sim here in the foreground that's just sitting in an armchair having a good cry. And this sim right in the center is lighting candles, and this toddler is thinking about fire. Yes, do be thinking about the fire and being careful around it. There are a lot of candles in this place. It also looks like there are some decorative bottles of juice up there above. Those are pretty iconic. Fancy juice. That's fancy juice. Also zooming in a little bit more because this here is the memorial portrait that you can set up. I wonder if those are probably automatically generated with just like a portrait of the sim in their everyday outfit, or maybe you can choose which outfit it takes, but it looks like they've all been posed kind of the same, so I don't think it's a matter of you have to take the photo in game. I think it's an automatically generated item based on who the sim is that has passed. And maybe we'd be able to choose which of their outfits they're shown wearing. I don't know. But it looks like there's another like incense burner in front of it, which is cool. So yeah, candles and incense and tarot cards and dealing with grief and consoling one another and exploring crypts and dancing naked under the full moon. I might have to buy this pack when it actually just comes out. I usually wait until they're on sale because they are ridiculously expensive, especially if you plan on owning multiple. I have a few in my game that I paid for earlier this year while they were on sale, and I don't have any of the other newish ones that have come out. But this one is so what I do that it seems like I would really be doing myself and all of my viewers who want to see me play Sims a disservice by not having this on Halloween Day to immediately start playing it. By the time this pack comes out, I should also be in a different living space with better internet, so hopefully I could even stream it and we could just hang out on Halloween and see what's up with this new pack. There's a bunch of other games that I want to play this season that, I mean, I'm going to play them all year round because that's just who I am, but would be very appropriate for this time of year. So fingers crossed and send good vibes that all of that works out as it should. I am really excited for how this pack looks. I'm stunned by a number of things that it looks like they're putting in here, and I'm very excited to see the gameplay trailer, which is coming out in a couple of weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks from now, we'll have the gameplay trailer on the full moon. They're releasing it on the 17th. And then 2 weeks after that is the 31st when the pack will be releasing. I really hope that this weekend I figure out my sound recording issue because I want to get to recording Reaper's Rewards. I want to show you the Sims that I made to do the challenge, and maybe those Sims will end up rolling right into a Let's Play of playing with the Life and Death pack. I guess we'll see. But even without that, I've got paranormal stuff. I've got Realm of Magic, so we're going to be doing some fun magical and otherworldly spiritual stuff. Thanks so much for watching and or listening to this video. I will see you next time. And until then, don't forget to be awesome. Blessed be. And goodbye. Oh, here's a cat. She has come for the end screen. I have two of these. They look almost identical. You may never know which you are seeing.